Hello, welcome back to our Excel macro series. Today we will create and modify our very own personal macro workbook. In previous videos, we created custom VBA code that was saved within specific workbooks. As soon as those files were closed, unfortunately, we are no longer able to use our macros. The personal macro workbook is a hidden workbook that opens automatically anytime we fire up Excel. As long as we store our most used code within this workbook, we can reuse it on demand in any Excel file. Our current VBA editor window shows three macros we might want to use often. The first one helps us add a new worksheet with grid lines removed for a more professional look. The second macro enables us to unhide all hidden worksheets, a true time saver when you have dozens of hidden tabs. And finally, the last macro is a fun project that will give us a motivational speech with the added bonus of specifying our file name, current tab selected, and the full file path. To speed up our access to these macros, we might want to create a custom ribbon tab that will execute our code at whim. Let's take a look at the example at hand. After we close VBA editor, we get back to the traditional Excel user interface. You could notice personal macros tab that I have created. That tab has links to the add a sheet, unhide sheet, and speech macros that we just reviewed. So the way it works is as soon as I click on add a sheet icon, we create a brand new worksheet as well as remove all of the grid lines. If I repeat this action like so, it would create additional worksheets. So now we have created three new worksheets. Let's go ahead and hide them all like so. And when we click on the unhide sheets icon, we would unhide all three hidden worksheets. And finally, the last icon, the speech icon, will run the motivational macro that will also tell us the location of the current file.
Excel strategies.
So what happens if we need to edit existing macro code? We can easily do that in the VBA editor. For example, to ensure that we always select cell A1 when we create a new worksheet, we would add the code accordingly. If we need to find out location of the personal workbook, we can do that in the immediate window by typing the code to retrieve full file path. So we could go to the View tab, select the immediate window option, and then type question mark this workbook dot path. So after having this location available, we can select this text, copy to the clipboard, Control-C, and then go to the Windows Explorer, navigate to our location, and find the file. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, personal macro workbook is hidden. So if we need to unhide it, we could go to the View tab, click on Unhide option, select Personal, and click OK. That would bring up the personal workbook, the physical workbook where our macros are located. In order to create personal macro workbook, in case you don't have it created already, we can easily record a sample macro by following these steps. First of all, we need to ensure that the developer tab is currently selected. So we could go to the File, Options, go to the Customize ribbon, and ensure that this developer checkbox is selected. After doing so, we can go to the Developer tab and record a new macro. When we're recording this new macro, we have to make sure that we're placing it into the personal macro workbook, like so. And let's just click OK. Let us perform one action just by moving selection from cell A1 to B2. Let's go back and stop recording. So when we switch back to the VBA editor window, we can go to this personal XLSB location, go to the modules, module 1, and we can see that we just created our macro. So let's replace this code with our existing code, like so. Make sure that we save our macros, and then let's add them to the custom ribbon. The first step is we have to make sure that the developer tab is available, so you can go to the File, Options, Customize ribbon, make sure that the developer checkbox is enabled. Click OK. And then to create the brand new tab, we would go back to the File, Options, Customize ribbon, create a new tab. Let's call it, rename it, call it Personal Macros. Go to the Choose Commands From, make sure that we select Macros, and add our macros to the custom personal macros list, like so. We might want to rearrange them. So for example, the unhide sheets macro, I would move it to the top and leave the speech one the last. Also, I'd like to rename them and customize the icons accordingly. So let's rename this tab to Add a Sheet. Let's add this custom icon. Click OK. Next one is going to be unhide sheets. Make sure we use a different icon then. And the final speech macro, let's customize this icon as well. Click OK. So when we go to the personal macros, if we create and add a sheet, we should create a brand new worksheet. Get rid of all of the grid lines and select cell A1. Thank you for your attention. Stay in touch via our social media outlets.